Hello and welcome back. I am fairly sure that it is Tuesday the 14th of May. It is. Oh, there's bits on this carpet. So yesterday I have done a massive amount of hoovering. This is rubble from my husband, this is. I swear to God, I could actually become one of those people who just literally cleans every day. You know, it could like become one of my obsessions. Anyway, I'm not that organised to be doing that. Oh my God, the stuff which I have tried to achieve this morning. I wanted to have a full listing day doing this. That's what this vlog is about. I want to get this listed. I would love to have got it all done today. That's not going to happen now because it's 12:30. So, I feel like I need to also get this diary out. This diary that was supposed to be, it's got some kind of code on it. I don't know what that's obviously supposed to mean something. This that was supposed to help me get organised. There's probably only like 2 months left in this now, isn't there? Oh no, apparently it goes all the way to December. So I can still use this. I need to write down all the things which I need to do, like buy poly mailers and buy ink cartridges and things like that. April and May. I mean, we're halfway through May now. So this morning, as you could probably tell, I ended up just taking a chill and dyeing my hair and having a bath because I need to have a blood test, and I also need to speak to my doctor regarding everything that's just happened to me in regards to having to go into hospital for treatment. So it just feels like that's going to be on the cards again, that I'm going to end up going into hospital again for treatment because of the amount of help that they weren't this morning trying to get an appointment. I've had to go in on my way to the post office, which is another galling thing that I've had to do because I've had another no sales day yesterday. But I still had to go to the post office because some plankton who bought something on Friday decided that late last night was when they were going to pay. If they'd just paid this morning, well, that would have been a cancellation, wouldn't it? But yeah, annoyingly, I've had to go to the post office because I'm on a one-day dispatch. I feel like even if I'm on a one-day dispatch, I should be able to display the same casual behaviour of payment that customers pay, so I shouldn't have had to dispatch that. But anyway, went into the doctor's. I have made a blood test, but I realise I don't actually know now. It's really weird, there's like a literal murder of crows. There's like 10 crows just appeared on the roof opposite. Yes. So I've got a blood test appointment, but I wanted to have an appointment, an actual appointment, just a telephone appointment. I don't need to physically see anybody. More road cleaning. I do actually need to speak to my doctor because, yeah, what should happen once a month has happened pretty much most of the last month. So I need to speak to them about that, but that was impossible because I rang and then they said you can't ring, and then they said you got to use the NHS app. The NHS app doesn't have any facility to make an appointment. So hence why I went in person and said, you know, this is the problem. So she's given me this, she wanted me to go, she said go to Jackson this morning. So I was like, immediately thought that I was in like some Johnny Cash thing. So yeah, she said we're going to Jackson today, and I'm like, there's no way that I'm doing that after 2 weeks bleed. There is no way I'm having a blood test today because I will faint. I just need to speak you know, and I don't see the point in having a blood test without speaking to the doctor about what they're blood testing for, because otherwise I'll have a blood test and then I'll have an appointment with them triggered by the blood test, and then they'll say, oh, you need to have another one. And I do not like having multiple blood tests, because that's why they struggle to take my blood, because my veins don't show, because they're all... This is what happens to drug addicts, isn't it? When they inject too much, their veins drop down, and because they just every little thing they want you to have a blood test for, it's now a struggle on top of the fainting anyway. Blah. So I spent an hour this morning fiddle-arsing around with the doctor, so that's just annoyed me. Then I went on, because I went on my emails to fish out an email for something in regards to a reward that I had with my car insurance, because I was like, oh, I haven't done that, and I didn't get the email, and then it turns out that I did get the email, but my junk mail got the email in with the many things that confused.com must have sent me. Once I went onto that website, they must have sent me about 30 emails in the space of 2 weeks. And of course I lost the email that I was supposed to have. So the £20 that I was going to spend at Sainsbury's has now expired because I didn't get the email. So that's irritated me. So then I've just dyed my hair, and anyway, I wanted to spend a whole day doing this listing, and that is now what I'm going to do. I still have to apparently go online, because obviously the NHS app doesn't work properly, but I have to use it, and I've got to go online, and yeah, I just don't know. It just makes me just despair. Anyway, because of everything that went on 2 months ago when I was ill, with all of this going backwards and forwards to the hospital, that which I'm supposed to do, you know, which was very disciplined, well, I say very disciplined, but there's big gaps there, but I was pretty much listing consistently all of February, and then I started well-ish in March, but then that was when I was ill, so I was ill from then, and although I've had like moments of listing, April looks like that. I haven't not listed anything for the entire month of April. Obviously I did list things, I just didn't mark it down on here. So I need to remind myself what I was supposed to be doing, which is new listings at a buy it now auction listing and relists, but I don't think I'm going to do that. The auctions, I mean, not the relists. So my stock take still needs to happen. I need to finish that. I just want to get all of this. I don't want it here because it just looks monumental sat here. I mean, it is a monumental pile. I just want to get myself back into the schedule. So there's 70 things there, which just, it fills you full of dread, doesn't it? I mean, I used to do 10 items a day. So listing 10 items a day, that is just a week's worth of stock. So I used to do that. And now for love nor money, now that I'm being selective, I could not get that level of stock to keep me up to 10 items a day. It'd have to be just traipsing around charity shops all the time. I don't know how people do 10 items a day. They must have, I hear people say, oh, you know, I've got 1,000 items in my eBay store, and these are people who do like list like 10, 20 items a day. So to me it says that, you know, 8 out of those 10 items that you're listing a day probably aren't that sellable. You know, if you've got to wait until doomsday for something to sell, how good is something? I'm hoping that most of this is pretty good. I mean, it's like, I know that people like swear about tech and sports as well, but he still has a program where things are sort of like marked down, and you see these videos where he's saying everything that he's picking up is fire, but is it really? Is it really all fire? Because if you were picking up things that were fire, they would sell, like he says, within 3 months. And you wouldn't end up having to reduce stuff down to get rid of stock. Anyway, I'm just talking a lot of rubbish because I don't have a huge shop. I do have my income from work, and thank goodness. Right, so Tuesday the 14th. So we're starting here. I didn't list anything yesterday. All I did was photograph stuff. 2 things went in the wash. 2 things went in the wash, and looking at what came out this morning, it doesn't look like either of those marks have come out, so that's exasperating. One was the Ted Baker shorts, so they've got a mark on. It must be the calibre of people who shop at Ted Baker. I mean, I can't talk because look what's happened with my hair dye this morning. I thought, oh, I'll use one of those pairs of gloves that came with the box dyes that I've had. So now I've got a skirble there and a bit there. And I think it came through on that finger as well. The gloves were just useless. But anyway, it is what it is. So, I don't particularly want to have to work on this tomorrow when I finish, because it is our wedding anniversary. We are talking about going out at the weekend. We have made reservations at somewhere that's probably a little bit above our we'll stick out like sore thumbs there anyway. It's on Dean's Gate, and you know the type of puffed up lips that go to Dean's Gate. I can't. What anyway, I'm gonna start on this. So let's realistically say that it's 1 o'clock when I start, because I'm going to make a coffee and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to start on with this. I need to make a list of things that I need to do. This is quite a good diary in that it has this. So I need to do all of those things, sort that out and start updating this. This should be easy. It's all photographed, it's all ready. All I need to do is just sit and chill and do it. It's just, everything's just annoyed me this morning. Right, let's get on. So I'll report back and tell you how many I've listed. Go! Right, hello. So, I mean, it's not even 8 o'clock yet and it is Thursday morning, so I am off work today. Turns out that I'm off work actually for the next 2 weeks because I was like, I know that I get a decent amount of annual leave, and I actually booked 2 weeks to get my arse sorted out in regards to, you know, cleaning, backlog and stupid little jobs, and, you know, visiting mum and dad, and yeah, definitely sorting out eBay, doing my tax return. Anyway, today is Thursday the 16th of May, and I am torn with the bargain hunting part of myself, which, you know, so as you know, I live in Manchester, and Sephora is opening today at the Trafford Centre, and for the first 500 people in the queue, they get a goodie bag, and there's part of me that is having to fight, wanting to go up there and be the first 500 in the queue, but because I won't be one of the first 500 in the queue, I will just be like the 1,000th irritated person in the queue who got there early, but not early enough for everybody who was crazy enough to probably be there at midnight and been there all night, because that's what the Trafford Centre is. I'll probably get in a car crash getting there, and that's another sticking point as well, because the car is at the garage. Well, it's not at the... So we knew that there was a problem with the front passenger tyre. So I took it in knowing that I was going to have to pay for a brand new tyre. Of course, they've said that all of the tyres are garbage, bar the front driver's side. which we did have replaced, but then I've had the back one replaced as well in March for the MOT. So bearing in mind that's in March, and now it's May, and they're saying that it's garbage because it's part worn tyre that's been put on and it needs replacing. So now I've got 220, well, 204, let's call it 250, coming out of my bank account to cover that. So, you know, if there's anywhere that I should be going, it is pick that car up. I mean, this was done yesterday, but I obviously I was at work yesterday, so I dropped it off on the way in, and then I called in on them, and I could have sat there for an hour waiting, but I just took my parcels out of the car because I'd left my parcels in the car, and went and dropped them off. And I was like, well, I'm not coming back out again to come and get this car when I don't need it. Neither of us are using it at the minute. It's just aggravating. So anyway, I'm going to do my post. I mean, this is not the face of somebody, is it, that goes to Sephora. So I have put cream on. So I mean, that's it. I do use a fair amount of creams, but the aging process is hitting me. So I'm 44. That's right. Yeah, I'm 44. Oh, Christ, that means I'm 45 in 2 months. How the hell has this happened? I don't know. Anyway, there's some fear of missing out. But, you know, I have dyed hair, so I'm not necessarily going to be using Olaplex. And it will just be a load of, like, perfume samples. And other, like, samples that I don't really know what it is, because when I had the Liberty box I didn't really know what half of that is, and I never really used it. So, you know, I just need to get realistic. Is that I want to go to the Bernardo's, and that was in my head that I was thinking I'll drop my post off, I'll get the car and I'll go to the Bernardo's. So I'm just going to go to the Bernardo's. I need to just get real. And I work in retail, so I know how absolutely aggravating retail is. So why on my day off would I want to put myself back into a retail situation, and a really wild retail situation? So anyway, when I left you, I was listing. This is just rubbish. So this just looks like I haven't done anything. I've done 22 items here listed. That's terrible. So that's another thing, is that I need to get myself back. I still feel like I've got like 50 odd items here. You see, at the minute, I'm not even scheduled 2 days ahead, because I've got Thursday here, which is what we're on. So these are going live on lunchtime, and I've only got 4 for tomorrow, and I've like put some straggly ones over there, which I just thought were like lesser items. I don't know why I've done that. I would just make myself feel like I'm slightly more ahead than I am. I don't know what I'm doing. And obviously now I've got to put this away. So this is the put away. I've sold 2 things out of this. They're both at the bottom as well. Well, they would be, wouldn't they? Because these ones are scheduled and these ones are live. So it's only going to be these ones. You know, and look at my fashion sense as well. I don't actually know what I've sold these for. So I've sold the Sweaty Betty. I think somebody sent me an offer of 15, and I did take it because, you know, they are a bit worn out, let's face it. They're not in the best condition. I think grey marl, if it's been like worn, not unsweated in, it just doesn't look right. The Sweaty Betty one. So that's that gone. I've got some other Sweaty Betty leggings in that haven't sold, and they've been worn by celebrities. I'm starting to think that celebrities mess things up. Far from like make things more desirable, they just mess things up. Oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing. And then I've sold these. These are the jeans that I really wanted for myself. So this was a surprise. That actually seems on their website. Some of their stuff is actually quite desirable. Yeah, so that's the flares that I really, really wanted to fit me, but they don't. Because, I mean, this is high-waisted, so it completely swamped me. Completely swamped me. I really wanted them to fit. I thought that I could, like, make them fit, but then there's part of me that's just like, there's some really tall person out there who'll be really grateful for these summer. And evidently they were up this morning at 7 AM. Because that's when I got the offer. I thought for a moment they weren't going to pay. What have I taken for these? £19. Which is all right, because I don't know about the brand. But so now I'm like thinking, if I see that again, should I pick it up? Because that was fast. That was dead fast. So because I was looking at my scheduled, and I turned some of my scheduled auctions, relist auctions, into buy it nows, which I should just put them on like Vinted or something. I just don't want to end up with like too many things to think about. I don't want to have to like look at eBay and do eBay and then look at I was going to say Sephora then. It's like on my mind. Just remove it from your mind. I don't even know which end of bloody Trafford Centre it's on, do I? So just forget about it. You're going to get in a car crash if you go up there. It's the law of the sod says that I will pick up that car having spent money on it and then crash the fucker. That's what the law of sod says. And even when we've had to go to B&Q, there's something wrong with the roundabout next to B&Q, in that we'll end up driving to Stockport, which is further, just to avoid getting in a traffic situation there. And Stockport traffic's garbage as well. Anyway, I can't remember what I was saying. I was saying something. I don't know what I was saying. It's totally irrelevant what I was saying, isn't it? Ugh. Now it's gone. It's completely gone. Yeah, I'm hopeless. Let me rewatch this and remind myself what the hell I was talking about. Okay, naturally I've like rewatched it and remembered. So yeah, I was talking about platforms. So I have a job. That's platform one. Job, fixed income, pow, guaranteed, pow, enjoy it, pow. So then I've got eBay. So I have my sales that come through eBay. And then I don't want to end up like having too much else to factor into. So I don't want to have Vestiaire, I don't want to have Depop, and I don't want to have Vinted taking up, you know, time in the morning where I've got to go and keep checking every damn platform. Anyway, buy the... I just need to like pull myself together and like get on with stuff. Here I am putting this in the thing. Right, so I've sold this. Which just proves how much I don't know about reselling, because I've had this for about 2 or 3 years. I thought I'd sold it, apparently not. It is what it is. I've seen other people buy and sell that fast. It's just the nature of the beast, isn't it? You know, if I go to the Trafford Centre, I'll just end up in the Lego shop, won't I? I'll look at the queue for Sephora and I'll just go, oh, there's the Lego shop. I don't like it up there. Right, last thing I've sold is, what is this? A ZX Spectrum game. Yes. Still not as old as I am. So, this is a cassette. There you are. Doesn't need testing because there's bloody bugger all wrong with that. And if I play it, it'll go because we all put it in and all played it on a normal cassette player to find out what it sounded like. I had a few of them that were terrible that I had to like. So I had a few of the cassettes that were gaming cassettes that were rubbish. This I'm talking about things that happened in the 80s. I'm not being sacrilegious in previous years. You put the sellotape over there, and then you can record off the radio with it. So I had a few of them then. So if you had some stuff that you'd recorded on it, and then it got to the end and it went anyway, that's that. I've got like 5 something for it, went on a 10% offer. I had 4 games, put them on a job lot all together, didn't sell on auction. Split them all off. The cricket game, which was the worst performing one, sold straight away. And then that one, which is KGB something or other, that one was supposed to be the decent one, which probably did get £15. That was a lie. Oh, who remembers Moripovich? You said that you hadn't slept with your girlfriend's sister. That was a lie. Right, anyway, I need to go and pick up the car, pull myself together, stop. I need to have some breakfast because I haven't done that. And then I need to come back and I need to do this listing. I'm gonna go to the 2 Bernardos that I quite like and come back here. That's what I'm gonna do. I think that's sensible. I'm not gonna go to the Trafford Centre because that's just ridiculous. I'm not a makeup wearer, and let's face it, I'd be better off like just going to Boots, because Boots is probably a lot cheaper when you've got your Advantage card and you stack offers. I do need some foundation, but I just don't know what foundation would actually work for me, because yeah, it just doesn't sit right with me, and I probably need to like rethink what I'm using. But at the moment I'm like using up lots of like random things which are sticking around, which is all very well and good, but right, so I'm going to put this, I'm probably going to edit this now, and I'm going to put it on because it's vlog, and I'm going to put another update on and tell you if I resisted the urge. See, I mean, who knows? I may get in the car and the car may take control, because sometimes you get in a car and you don't have plans to drive somewhere. It's just suddenly you drive there, and there's a good chance, because the car will already be pointing in the direction of the Trafford Centre. So there's a good chance that instead of turning left into White City and going to the Bernardos, I go to the Trafford Centre. It will not happen. It will not happen, because I'm a sensible person. It's just there's a big part of me, there's a big bargain hunting part of me that thinks that this gift bag that they're giving away to the first 500 customers is going to be immense, and it's not. It will not be immense, because it is usually stuff that they can't get rid of. Right, I'm going to edit this, put it on eBay, put it on YouTube, and then you're going to enjoy watching me struggle with the madness, my maddening thoughts, and I will see you again tomorrow with an update as to whether I actually came back and I actually started listing that. So the next video hopefully will be a charity shop haul, not a Sephora haul, because that, you know, needs to get sensible here. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Right, goodbye. I will see you soon.